We bring on Ray Fittipaldo. Ray, brought to us by Western PA Injury Attorneys of LGKG, built on relationships, credibility, and integrity. LGKG.com. Ray, of course, our Steelers insider from the Post-Gazette. Ray, good morning. And did you watch Hard Knocks?
Mike Tomlin and I have something in common. We are both taking a hard no approach to watching Hard Knocks.
So who with the Post-Gazette was assigned the Hard Knocks watching? Because, I mean, you can't ignore it, Ray.
Really? You think we have to have somebody assigned?
I think so. I mean, you're getting content, behind-the-scenes nuggets there, man.
Here's the way I look at it. If something is good, it's going to be on social media. And what was the one this morning? Like, ooh, Russ is talking to George during practice. You know, like, oh, that's. I mean, I see this stuff every day. I don't have to watch it on TV at night.
Ray, do you think that Mike Tomlin, for the people that are going to watch Hard Knocks, the people around the country, the people here in Pittsburgh, do you think Mike Tomlin could win over some people that aren't really Mike Tomlin supporters at the moment by the behind the scenes of some of the things you'll see on Hard Knocks? You think or does that even matter?
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think he's going to win over Steelers fans in Pittsburgh because of that, but I think this is really good publicity for him on the national stage. And, quite honestly, I don't know that he needs publicity on the national stage. I think that's where most of his love comes from, to be quite honest with you. So, it's an interesting dynamic. I think he's going to be one of the stars of the show.
Oh, yeah.
But he wants nothing to do with it. I mean, he couldn't get that mic off him fast enough Sunday after the game. I just behind the scenes, I get the feeling that he's trying to do everything in his power so the Steelers never have to do Hard Knocks again. So it's an interesting little situation there that he's going to be the star, but he absolutely hates the thing.
And it was very Steelers-centric, this episode, because they know they're not going to get opportunities to do this. I am now fully bought into, guys, the schedule being stacked the way that it was because of Hard Knocks. I mean, the NFL's official Twitter accounts are blowing this thing out. It's all over NFL.com. It's a big piece of propaganda, and they kind of screwed the Steelers in the process. But that's neither here nor there. All right, back to Mike Tomlin here, Ray. Is this his best coaching job, or at least among them? And do you think he's got a legit chance to win Coach of the Year?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's overdue for him to win Coach of the Year. I don't really know how he hasn't in the past. So that's probably something that's going to happen this year. In terms of his best coaching jobs, yeah, I mean, I think it's up there. I think, the big one that everyone's going to point to is the decision to go to Russ when they were 4-2. And, maybe there was some, I don't want to say bickering, but maybe there were some dissenting voices in that building when that move was made. But you guys can see, I mean, it's a world of difference between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. And I know it was popular after Sunday to put up the comparison on social media, Russ after 6 games, Justin after 6 games. But I don't care how close the stats are. You could just see with your eyes how different that offense is, how those guys respond to Russ, how he makes clutch plays in situations where they need him. So to me, if there's anything that's going to win Coach of the Year for Mike, I think it's, what he did in October when he went to him after, when he was healthy.
Ray, if you were to bet money for this game on Sunday, would you bet on George Pickens at some point losing his cool, or George Pickens not losing his cool at some point?
I mean, it's so fresh what happened in Cleveland, with Newsome and a bunch of other guys on that defense. I would bet money something is going to happen. So, I mean, listen, I hate to say it because we all know the target's on his back, but as long as he doesn't do something extraordinarily stupid, like he doesn't get kicked out of the game, and he produces, that's really what all the Steelers are looking for. He almost cost them with that second unsportsmanlike against the Bengals. They got 0 points on that drive because of what he did, or at least partially because of what he did. So, he's got to watch it, but I kind of get where Mike is coming from a little bit too. Like he's wired a certain way. He's competitive. You don't want to take away that edge from him, but you also want to calm him down and not put him in situations where he's going to cost your football team. So I like the edge. I just don't like him maybe doing some things that aren't smart on the football field. Like instead of like handing the ball to the guy, just go back to the huddle and use that other stuff for fuel for making a play the next play.
What did you make of Tomlin equating Joey Porter Jr. v. T. Higgins to that of Hack-a-Shack? And is this a significant problem with Joey Porter Jr. that you think he'll be dealing with for the length of his career? Is this just who he is?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's unfortunate for Joey. He came into this league with a reputation, and, the referees seem to, or the officials, I should say, seem to, I don't want to say have it out for him, but it seems like he's getting called for a lot of stuff. I thought one of the DPIs in the end zone was a little bit ticky-tacky, to be honest with you. I think the other one, he mugged him, pretty good. I think it's kind of like George. Like, you want him to play a certain way. You drafted him because he's 6'2", he's a big corner. You want him to be physical, but he's also going to learn where that line is. And if officials are going to, have it in for him, you got to back off and, you got to adjust your game. So I think he's actually played okay for the most part. I think when you get 5 penalties, it kind of stands out. But, if you take his season in totality after 12 games, I think if you want to put a grade on it, I'd give him like a B or a B- at the worst. I actually think he's played pretty well for the most part.
Ray, has Broderick Jones been getting better?
Yes. I like the edge he plays with. I mean, he was 20 yards down the field on one of those plays. I think it was a Najee run where he was just, bulldozing defensive backs. So I love that part of the game. There are still going to be some bumps in the road for him, just in terms of technique and, recognizing things on the line. I think you're going to have to learn to live with those mistakes, but I think he's on the right track. Pat Meyer talked about it at the bye week. He's young, he's learning, but when you play with an edge like he does and you care the way he cares, he wants to be good, I think that's half the battle. So he is getting better, and that's good news for the Steelers.
Last thing here for you, Ray. Mike Williams, you ever going to catch a football again?
Man, Calvin Austin might not play this week. He's in the protocol. We'll probably know more Thursday or Friday with that. So if Calvin does not play, I think Mike actually slips right into his spot and maybe does get a few targets. But what it tells me that he's only been targeted once in 4 games is he's probably not getting open a lot. And if you go back to what he was doing with the Jets, he wasn't getting a lot of targets there. So maybe he just has to work at it. Maybe he's lost a step. I'm not sure what it is, but he might have an opportunity this week if Austin is down.
Ray, tremendous as always. We appreciate your time, and we will talk to you next week.
All right, guys. See you.
Take it easy. Ray Fittipaldo of the Post-Gazette.